All right, today, kiddos, a quick review on multiple alleles, which a great example of multiple alleles is human blood type. We kind of talked already about, having A, B, and O blood. This lesson is not going to cover the Rh factor, positive and negative. We'll talk about that later. But we're going to focus on what it means to have multiple alleles and how that relates to blood type. So the question says, how many alleles do we usually have? Like, how many different letters or different forms of a gene do we usually have for one single gene? And the answer is we usually have just two. Like, we may have, for example, we may have a capital T, we may have a lowercase t. We may have, maybe an R1 or maybe an R2. But really, there's only been two alleles for every single gene. Well, when we have blood type, that's going to be different. Now, you see in the blood type here, phenotype is your physical appearance or what your red blood cells look like. If you look, blood type O is going to have two lowercase i's. Now, remember, lowercase means recessive. So to have blood type O, you have to have two O alleles or two lowercase i's we're going to use for that. Why do we pick I? Well, it's going to be the easiest to help us show that. If you're blood type AB, that means you have one A allele and one B allele. Now notice that we have a capital I for our A allele and we have a capital I for our B allele. Well, the reason this is they're both dominant. Remember, when we have capital letters, that represents dominance. And we use a little A up here, superscript, to let us know it's the A allele, and the B superscript to let us know it's the B allele. But they're both capital letters because they're both dominant. So this all shows codominance with blood types. If you have one A allele and one B allele, well, guess what? You're blood type AB. For blood type A, you could have both A alleles, or you could have one A allele and one O allele. Remember, O is lowercase I. So if I have one A allele and one O allele, my blood type is still A because the A allele is dominant to the O allele. So if you're blood type A, you could have both A alleles or one A and one O because A is dominant, it shows up. Same with B. If you're blood type B, you could be homozygous for blood type for the alleles for blood type B, or you could have one B allele, which is dominant, and one O allele, which is recessive. The B blood type would show up because B is dominant to O. So if you look at it here, we have three different alleles. We have an allele for A, we have an allele for B, and we have an allele for O. Blood type, or the allele A and allele B are codominants. Remember, co-show. And the allele O is recessive, which is why it's written lowercase. So let's do a couple of example problems to see how this is going to work in a Punnett square. A mother is homozygous for blood type B. Well, let's write that in. Blood type B, again, here are our options for our genotypes for blood type B. Both B alleles are one B and one O. Now it said she was homozygous for blood type B. Well, that means we have both B alleles. So I'm going to write these in here. And guys, I apologize. I'm using my mouse to write these in. So she is homozygous for blood type B. Father is blood type O. That's all the information I give you. Well, blood type O, if we look at blood type O again, blood type O is a recessive allele, so I have to have both recessive alleles for blood type O to show up. And it says, what are all the possible blood types of their baby? Now, bring it down, drop it over. If we would cross all of these, you would see we would get the same genotype or same combination for each of the possible offspring. It'd be a capital IB and a lowercase I. So every single one of their kiddos would have that genotype. So if you have that genotype, what would be your phenotype, or what blood type would you have? Let's go back and see. If I have that, one B and one O allele, I'm going to be blood type B. So every single one of their kids is going to have blood type B. There's no other exception. If those two people had kiddos, they would have to have blood type B for their children. Let's do one more example. Let's say a mother is heterozygous, hetero means different, for blood type A. Well, that means she would have one A allele. Remember, A alleles are dominant, with their capital I and a little a there. If she's heterozygous for blood type A, she'd have one A allele and one O allele. That's her genotype. The father, it says, is heterozygous for blood type B. Okay, heterozygous means different. That means he would have one B allele and he would have one O allele. Again, one of each. He's still blood type B because blood type B is dominant. Now, if they had children and we cross those, this kiddo would have one A allele and would have one B allele. So if they have one of each, remember, A and B are codominant, they'd be blood type AB. This kiddo would have one B allele and one O allele, so they're heterozygous for B, blood type B would show up. And then this kiddo here would have one A allele and one O allele. That would make that child blood type A because blood type A is dominant, the A allele is dominant. And then this kiddo here would have both O alleles, making that kiddo the blood type O. So there's a possibility if your mom is blood type A and your dad's blood type B, that you could have any four of those blood types. Now, you'd have to know if your mom was heterozygous or homozygous for A, and same with your dad. So, ladies and gentlemen, blood types are great examples of what we call multiple alleles because there are three different alleles being used. There's the A allele, there's the B allele, and again, they're codominant, which is why I had them both capital letters and my little A and B to kind of differentiate between the two. And then we have also the O allele written with the lowercase I because it's recessive.